Anthropic released its most intelligent model to date, Claude 3.7 Sonnet. There are a couple of cool features like its hybrid reasoning model that can produce either near instant responses or extended step-by-step thinking responses, which is similar to reasoning and thinking models from Gemini, Perplexity, and ChatGPT. And there's the agentic coding tool called Claude Code, which we'll get into in a bit. But first, Claude 3.7 Sonnet is available to all plans, free, pro, team, and enterprise, while extended thinking is only available for the paid tiers, pro, team, and enterprise. Now, for Claude 3.7 Sonnet, they took a philosophy to offer a unified approach. This is seen in three ways with this release. First, it allows users to choose between a more instant, a quicker response model, or the extended thinking model. Second, 3.7 Sonnet, in the API, you can control the budget for thinking. So you can configure how many tokens you want Claude to utilize with an output limit of 128,000 tokens. So you can figure out how to optimize for speed and cost. And third, it's optimized more for real world tasks and less for math and computer science problems. And this aligns with the trend of agentic AI. So if we look at the benchmarks, we can see how well they performed with software engineering and coding problems. 62.3% for accuracy and 70.3% with custom scaffolding. So if you think about what scaffolding is, scaffolding provides support. In the same manner, Anthropic uses prompts and other elements to support prompt engineering and guide the model through these problems. Many have awaited a huge release from Anthropic. Even with Claude 3.5 Sonnet, many have held this AI model as the top model for coding. Recently, some have crowned O3 Mini as the best coding model, and OpenAI has claimed that the full version of O3 has achieved close to 72% accuracy for coding. So I'm curious why Anthropic decided to release this model now with this benchmark achievement of 70% with custom scaffolding instead of waiting for better performance. What do you all think? With agentic tool use, we can see 3.7 Sonnet has an accuracy of 81.2% in the retail sector and then 58.4% in the airline industry. And then here are the other benchmarks compared to some of the other models on the market. We can see there's a huge jump in agentic coding from 49% to 62.3%. And then there are the other benchmarks for graduate level reasoning, visual reasoning, etc. Now let's talk about their agentic coding tool, Claude Code. Right now, it's available in beta as research preview. So you can use it to upload a project, open it as an instance in Claude Code, give it access to your files so that it can see the file architecture and understand the logic of your repository. It also can read the higher level files and dig deep into your project. So it can go through all the components in your files and analyze the repository. So you can ask Claude Code about any of those elements. You can also ask it to edit or add features to your app. It'll go through your files, find the correct ones, and update the code for them. It provides you with the code differential to make sure you want to accept those changes. Once Claude completes a task, it'll provide a summary of what it's done. You can also ask Claude to create some tests, and it'll ask you permission to run those commands. It'll make changes to run the test and create changes to pass all the tests. When you compile the app, you can see if you get any build errors. Claude will identify the errors and fix them, and then you can compile the app again until it works. It'll ask you if you want to commit the changes and push them to GitHub as well. Finally, it'll give you a summary and a description of all the changes. There is documentation from Anthropic on using Claude Code, so make sure you have all the requirements, and then it gives you instructions on installing and authenticating, running it through your terminal, explains the core features, and it also includes some examples for common tasks, including understanding unfamiliar code, automating Git operations, editing code intelligently, testing and debugging your code, as well as diving deep into the architecture and the logic. You can also use Claude Code with third-party APIs like Amazon Bedrock and Google Vertex AI. You can use commands to track the cost for the current session. It'll provide you a cost summary when you exit the console. The link to this documentation will be in the description. In the Claude interface, in the prompt section, at the bottom there's a drop-down where you can select the different models, choose which thinking mode you want, normal or extended. We're going to prompt Claude to create a clone of a Jira board, add the ability to rename tasks, add tasks to any column, check off tasks to indicate completion with a strike through of the task, delete the task, and when a task is checked off, automatically move it to the done column. When a task is added to the done column, include a confetti animation. So we can see Claude going to work on the right, generating the code. Now we can use our app in this artifact here on the right. So we'll say schedule content, add task to do, write script for video, add task. A few more tasks. Now let's see what happens. Okay, now it's moved that task to the done column and added a confetti animation. And it's updated the status bar as well. There's some styling elements that you can fix for the app, but overall looks pretty good. Now we're going to create a new chapter and prompt Claude to create us an app that takes a word and a letter to count the occurrence of the letter within the word. So we enter the word, we'll do the classic strawberry test, and we'll count the number of R's. And it successfully counted the number of R's with my typo. Now, if we try the correct spelling, let's see what happens. 3. Great. And it passes the strawberry test. If you found this useful, like the video and leave a comment. If you want more content on AI, workflow automation, and analytics, subscribe to the channel.